The only thing harder than waiting on God's timing is...
Hey babe, what are we doing?
We're about to film a video, Biz.
What video are we filming?
We're gonna do a little advice Q&A situation.
Advice Q&A situation.
So we gotta ask the people what they want advice on.
You need to ask the people what they want advice on.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay, you guys, we're gonna do a little advice Q&A type video today. So I'm gonna leave a little box here. It's gonna be super quick advice. We're probably gonna leave like 30 seconds for both of us to answer
hot
it.
potato advice.
Hot potato advice.
I like potatoes.
Anyways, leave your questions in this little box and we'll try to answer them in the video. Love y'all.
Bye. And just like that, folks, you're up. Oh, I forgot to do the little transition thing. Transition Central.
Welcome back to our channel. Today we're in a slightly different setting. We're actually sitting in the neighborhood that we will live in.
Soon. I mean...
maybe not as soon as we...
Maybe not that soon. It depends on your perspective on soon. Like, is it when the Lord's coming back? Is it that soon? We don't know, because he didn't tell us when or where. He said just be prepared.
So just to reiterate, we are gonna answer your questions, your advice questions that you guys submitted on Instagram, and we're gonna try to keep it like 30 seconds because I feel like every single one of these questions...
We're not trying to keep it. I got the timer ready.
I feel like every single one of these questions we could do an entire video on, and so y'all know we get a little chatty. All right, let's see.
Oh, and if you're part of the 16.2 people who liked last video, remember if it gets 16 point, how many likes?
16.2 likes.
16.2 likes. You need to hang on till I do the nice thing for my wife. We were just in LA for an entire week and we were there for like a wedding and seeing people, so I haven't had a chance to do what I want to do. So on Saturday's video, you'll see that.
All right, so let's just jump on into it, guys. What do you say? Okay, I'm gonna start with this one. How to find godly friends, because I feel like I get this question all the time in regards to like how do you build community, how do you have godly friends.
Is this a part of your 30 seconds?
No, I'm prefacing the question.
Okay.
Okay, ready?
In 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so my advice would be look for them where you would want to, well wait, that doesn't make any sense.
Keep going, baby, you got this.
Babe, I feel like now I'm under pressure. I don't like the timer.
You're the one who wanted the fast pace.
I know, but now it's stressing me out.
You have 8 more seconds, baby.
Babe. Okay, we gotta start over. Scratch that.
Timer's starting now.
Okay, I think my best advice for creating godly community is to get involved in your local church or different like Christian organizations in your city. I've met some of my best friends through different Bible studies that I've been in or church groups that I've gone to, and yeah, it's kind of like when you're looking for the right guy, like don't go looking for him in the club, you know, just look in the right places.
5 seconds left on that one, babe. Nice. Can I say something to that real quick? How do I restart it? Okay, I'm gonna start mine. I'm gonna start my timer.
Okay.
All I'm gonna say is this. You have to be desperate for it. I remember when I first became a believer, I was in my last semester of undergrad in college and I had to seek it, and I was going to like 5 different church services a week. I mean, I'm talking Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and Sundays for 2 services, I believe. I was just going as much as I could. I was going to as much as I could. I was talking to everybody. I was introducing myself. And you know, you have to be like, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Time's up. So, all right, what's next?
Okay, next is how do you come to terms with your past mistakes?
You want me to take this one?
Go for it.
Timer's starting now. I love this quote that whenever you embrace your own insecurities, nobody can use them against you. And so I kind of take a play off of, okay, we got a package. So I basically take a play off of that, and I'm like, okay, well, if I can't change this, what can I do? I can change my outlook on this type of subject in the future, because I can't live in the past, but I can move forward into the future with a lot of different principles that I've learned from the mistakes I've made. And if you grow from it, you grow through what you go through.
Yeah. I'm just gonna add a little bit onto that. I think something that really helped me kind of move on from past mistakes was realizing that God could use it to impact other people, and that I could relate to so many other women because of what I'd walked through. Had I lived this perfect life, then I wouldn't be relatable, and I wouldn't be able to have conversations with people who might be going through it currently. And so I think when I realized that my story could help change somebody else's story, it really helped me.
She gonna preach today. All right, what's next?
Okay, next.
That was a good answer.
Thanks, babe. Advice on how to stay consistent and disciplined in reading the Bible.
Do you want to start with this one? Then I'll pick up.
Sure.
All right. In 3, 2, 1.
I think something that really helped me when I was starting to really get disciplined was setting a date with Jesus. And so every morning I was like, Jesus, I'm going to meet you at this time every morning. This is me and you time. And when I knew it was on the calendar and it was a priority, it really helped me not let the day get away. Because if I don't do it like right in the morning, then it just seems like the day gets a little crazy. But if I do it in the morning, then I feel like he's with me throughout the whole day. So
I like that. Dang, 1 second. That was so good. Can you repeat the question to me again?
How do you stay consistent and disciplined in reading the Bible?
How do you
Stay consistent
and disciplined?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I hope this doesn't sound rude at all, because I don't mean it that way at all, but it's just like any other habit in life. You know, you have to consistently practice it, and you have to build what's called your willpower. Mm-hmm. Not all willpower is equal, and so typically people who have gone through more things and pushed through more things have a greater willpower to stay disciplined and consistent in something. So I would start a little goal. Okay, I want to read my Bible 3 days in a row. And then once you hit that, set another goal for now I want to do 4 days in a row. And then you keep trying to achieve these different goals. And it's just like every other habit. You need to put it into your day and make it a priority.
Like I'm about to do with drinking water. Okay. Next is advice for the beginning of a long distance relationship.
Ooh, we know a lot about this one.
We do. We was long distance for a long time. There's a video on it if you want to go look.
You can click up here next to my hot wife. All right, should I start the timer for you?
I think you should go first this time.
Can you repeat the question for me again?
Advice in the beginning of a long distance relationship.
All right, in 3, 2, 1. Okay, you need to set appropriate boundaries and work on your communication. For example, when Tori and I started our relationship, we started long distance. We're 3,000 miles apart, 3-hour time difference, and we were committed to say, hey, we're not gonna go longer than 3 weeks without seeing each other. And so we had booked flights, we had prepared FaceTime dates, we had set rules that we can't talk about business or work stuff after, what was it?
Like 7 or 8.
It was like 7 or 8 p.m. depending. And so we had to set actual boundaries for each other to connect with each other. And that's just, I'm out of time, so.
It's funny, I was actually gonna say the same thing, to be very open about your intentions and like setting up a certain schedule and asking a lot of questions. I think the biggest benefit of long distance relationships is that you really get to focus on building that friendship and really getting to know each other. And so ask a lot of questions and ask the hard ones up front.
Yeah, I honestly, that was my second thing I would say would be to focus on the friendship, because if you're living inside of your relationship as if, we just can't see each other, we just can't touch each other, we just can't, then you're gonna be miserable. But if you're living for where you are actually in your relationship, you're gonna have to really focus on the things that you can do, which is build a friendship and build great communication skills. And if you thrive in those, then you'll thrive here whenever you're in person. Like what we're doing, babies. All right, what's next?
Okay, next one. How to fill that deep loneliness hole.
Do you want to start with this one?
Sure.
3, 2, 1, go.
I think the biggest, deepest hole is filled only by God. I think that when you're feeling that deep craving for something more, that's because you're not being filled by the Lord. And I think we way too often try to fill it with worldly things or different relationships or my spouse or my friends or my career or these wants and desires, but those are always going to leave you empty. And so if you're feeling a deep loneliness, really go to the Lord. Mom!
You know what's crazy is time ran out right when her mom called her, which is actually kind of fun. So, did you need to finish that train of thought, or are you okay?
No, it's fine.
Can you
It's
repeat the
fun.
question to me again? Because I want
How to fill the deep loneliness hole.
And what you were saying is that all the other things never really fill it. It's only in Christ.
And I think we're always going to feel a little bit of it when we're on this side of heaven. I think we're built with it.
Yeah.
A craving for
Yeah, I think it's natural to feel discontentment this side of heaven.
Yeah.
But I also know that I would be careful with trying to fill it with worldly things because those things tend to make you more lonely.
Next question. How do you handle fighting in your marriage?
I started the last one. You want to start this one?
Sure.
In 3, 2, 1.
I think something that's really helpful is knowing how the other one handles conflict, and so that you can communicate in a better way. Like for me, sometimes I need a couple minutes to just like calm down so there's no emotions or not emotions, but there's no raising of the voice or things that can be said without meaning them. Like I need a couple seconds to just like go through my thoughts and be with Jesus before the argument. But if the person you're in a relationship with, like they just want to hash it out, it's something to be aware of and know that I'm out of time.
But you only went over by a few seconds.
Okay.
Tori and I posted a video on how we handle conflict. So you should click up next to my hot wife right up here. About that.
Got a whole video on it, y'all.
I think communication is key.
Yeah.
Remember, your spouse is not your enemy. They're not your enemy. I'll say they're not your enemy.
Watch the war room.
She's not my
Single
enemy.
or married.
If we have conflict, that's normal because we're human, and that's very normal because we bring our own selfish desires and needs into a relationship.
Yeah.
But just always trying to assume the best of each other. That's the advice that was given to us on our
assume the
wedding day.
best.
Is just try to assume the best of your partner.
Yeah, that's good. Next question. How to stay away from lustful thinking that leads to sexual impurity.
I'll take this one.
Okay.
And go. Run. Girl,
Run.
I've
Forrest,
canceled gym
run.
memberships. I've downloaded software that helps monitor my online activity. I've turned off TV shows. I've unfollowed like 600 people on Instagram. You have to look at it as like you have to guard your heart and guess what what you look at goes through your eyes down in your heart because you think about it. And so I would really encourage you to not take it lightly and to not think, there's a scripture that I don't like to throw around too much because it sounds kind of mean, but it's you ought not to think more highly of yourself. And so for me, I had to look at myself as like, oh, I am susceptible to what happens when I turn on this TV show or whenever I go to this gym.
Yeah.
And so I have to take precautions and measures to make sure that I am guarding my eyes because otherwise I will go there.
Yeah.
So
Important.
that was like 10 seconds over.
I just think of those little emojis of the little monkeys that are like me.
Oh.
Just because it's so true. You have to guard what you're watching, what you're listening to, the music you're listening to. I was very aware of some songs that are trending on TikTok right now, and it is utterly disturbing, the lyrics. Utterly disturbing that children are listening to this. So anyways, those thoughts, they linger, and then they, like Chad said, they become part of you, and then you're going to desire those things. And so instead, be thinking of lovely things and godly things, and then that's what your heart is going to desire. And it's so important. It sounds so simple, but putting those necessary precautions are so important and really genuinely could like change the course of your life.
I agree. That was like 45 seconds, baby.
Sorry. It's just, I'm a little passionate about that. Okay, advice on being patient and trusting God's plan for you. I got a quick little one for this.
3, 2, 1.
The only thing harder than waiting on God's timing is wishing you had.
You just gonna drop it like that? I love that. I agree. I think the regret that comes from not waiting on God's plan is greater than the impatience that comes along while waiting. But there's so many things you can do while waiting.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. You still run after God while you're waiting.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to remember that, like, how do I say this very kindly? Because I don't want to seem too harsh or anything, but God doesn't owe us anything. He doesn't owe us anything. He doesn't owe us a spouse. He doesn't owe us a 6-figure job or a bougie nice car and house. He doesn't owe us any of that stuff. And so sometimes I would like to, I guess, ask, like, well, what is it you're waiting on? Because first off, I'm not saying that we can't be blessed with those things at all. I'm not saying that at all. But I'm saying is what we're waiting on actually in God's will for our life? But I would really just continually seek it in prayer. And there's a great book called The Circle Maker, which really helps with those types of things. So you basically pray like a circle around something. And I've learned that really helps with your prayer life, because say, for example, someone that you know is sick. I'm gonna sum this up. I'm sorry taking so long, but it's important.
Baby forgot his time.
Say that you know someone who is sick and you want to pray for their health. That's so important and so needed, and you should absolutely do that all day, every day. And so what I would do is I pray for miraculous healing, and I pray for I pray that they don't experience any pain. And then I pray for their family to have tenacity and endurance and resolve in this time, and for them to be close and to not fight each other. And then for the hands of the doctors and nurses, and I pray for, and then also I pray for God's will inside of here. And so I'm covering the entire situation in prayer. And so no matter what, my prayer is answered.
Tips on saving money.
Papa Ramsey, look it up.
David Ramsey all day long,
y'all. I think it's Dave Ramsey.
Dave Ramsey all day long. What did I say, David?
Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard him called David. That's funny. I wonder if his name is actually David.
I don't know. Is his name Why would I say David?
All I know is, have you ever met a 6-year-old named Dave? I encourage you to look up Dave Ramsey and set a budget and live by it. I know that sounds so simple,
so hard,
but write everything down, and then give every dollar a use. For example, this portion of what I've earned is going to rent, this is going to bills, this is going to this is going, give everything a home, because if you just have money just sitting in your account, you're likely to spend it. And take whatever you're saving or going to invest or whatever you want to do with it and put it in a separate bank account so you can't see it, you can't access it, you can't touch it. And that's what helps us.
Woo.
Oh, that feels so nice. Wow. There is a God, and He is a good God, and He is a merciful God.
Okay, so I feel like these are a little bit of cop-outs, but at the same point in time, since we only have 30 seconds on this video, I'm gonna read a couple of these questions and then give you guys links to our entire videos that have to do with these topics. So one of them was how to make the most of my single years. And we have an entire singleness series, so there's 4 different videos on singleness, just all our advice on singleness. And I know that a lot of y'all are already asking for a part 5. So if you want a part 5, comment below, and also comment like what questions you have for us in regards to singleness, so we know what direction to like take that video. And then there's one that says, how do you know if you're with the one? There was a lot of different questions on that. And we also have a video on how to find the one, how to know if he or she is the one, etc. So we'll link that here. And then there was one more of, how do you like move on from someone? And we did an entire video on heartbreak and moving on. So we'll link that too.
Should I close this?
Sure.
It's just the whole thing. Did that not help, at all? Are you kidding me right now?
Back up.
I gotta back up?
Yeah.
What is going... Babe, it's following us. Okay, let's just leave it right here for right now, okay?
I'm gonna get the dark.
So sorry. We're YouTubers.
We hope this video was helpful, you guys.
Tori and I know we can get a little chatty Cathy, and we can have some run-on sentences / everything. So it's kind of nice to shorten it a little bit. It teaches us to be a little bit more succinct. But you know, we
Bringing me
love
back to
having
pageant
deeper
days.
conversations on these topics. Like, all these answers could be talked about for hours. And
For
so
sure.
if you feel like any answer was just not quite enough, that's probably because it wasn't. But
Yeah.
this will help you maybe scratch the surface to do a lot more digging on those things.
Yeah, and if you have any questions, we're always on Insta, so you can always send us a DM.
Oh, and if this video gets,
Y'all, our internal temperature on our camera just got too hot, and we were so scared that we lost the whole video.
anyways,
We love you guys. I'm hitting Chad with this big ol' hat that he hates. We hope that this was encouraging. Feel free to DM us on Instagram if you have any other questions.
in the next video, I'll do another little like challenge to where if it gets like another amount of likes, we'll do something.
You still have to do something nice for me from the last
I
one.
know, I mentioned that earlier. I want to be so, her love language is touch, and I'm just trying to, but that hat is like a blocker. For all you who are struggling with remaining pure,
Put a
get
big
one of these
hat
hats on, because guys can't get to you. Watch this. You see that? Love you.
There you go.
All right, we gotta
Love
go.
you.
See you
Love
later.
y'all. See you in the next
I hope
one.
you enjoyed this nice little video after our little cute little
Me, me, me.
All right, love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
Hello to everybody watching this video. I just wanted to say that I've been watching Tori and Chad Masters since the beginning, and every single video and every single Instagram post, every single live that they do just inspires me more and more every day. And so I just want to thank you guys publicly, and I just want to say that you are truly impacting people's lives, and never stop doing it. Okay, love you guys.